Heart rate variability, or HRV. What is it? Well, trust me, you need to know this. You know what heart rate is, right? Heart rate is the average beats per minute of your heart. But your heart isn't a mechanical metronome. Just because you've been told it's, say, 60 beats per minute, it doesn't reflect beat-to-beat accuracy. Your heart rhythm is meant to be elastic. It's adapting to everything you do. You stand up, your heart changes. You run, it changes. You swallow, it changes. Heart rate variability is all about the beat-to-beat measurement. Essentially, lower heart rate variability indicates more sympathetic nervous system activity, and higher heart rate variability indicates more parasympathetic responses. Scientists are now getting to the point where they can predict cardiac death and disease from analyzing HRV. Our phones now have the capability to measure HRV. From this body of research, heart rate variability training has been developed, and this training influences the autonomic nervous system to boost its parasympathetic response. So, with a sleep focus, this is going to help because we want to encourage parasympathetic dominance. What I'm about to show you, I just want to say I'm not endorsed by. I use it because I think it's the cheapest and a very effective tool that aids in improving HRV, lowers the fight or flight response, and boosts the parasympathetic response. The app I use on my phone is Inner Balance by the Heart Math Institute. It uses a biofeedback device that connects to your earlobe and it tracks HRV in real time. Basically, you do regulated breathing. I'm recommending about 6 breaths a minute, 5 seconds of inhalation and 5 seconds of exhalation. This kind of gamifies well-being because you can see the effect breathing has on your heart in real time. The more you do this, the better you will get at it and the better results you will achieve. This type of breathing trains the autonomic nervous system to exercise the reflex of engaging the parasympathetic response. Where people go wrong with this sort of breathing is the minimal time they spend. You need a good 10 minutes at least. For best results, 15 minutes 3 times a day. I'd recommend before lunch, before dinner, and before bed. So here's a screenshot from my phone. On this day, I was actually a bit stressed and tired. The blue line is the beat-to-beat measurement of my heart. The horizontal axis is as time passes, and the vertical is the beats per minute at that specific time. As you can see, the range is very narrow, so my heart wasn't as elastic, so to speak. I was doing my 5 seconds inhalation and my 5 seconds exhalation, but the coherence score, or HRV, was very low. Basically, a low score indicates less rest and digest activity and more fight or flight activity. It is more complex and nuanced than that, but for our sleep focus, let's just stick with that explanation. When you're in coherence, it's meant to look something like this. The beat-to-beat heart rate looks like a beautiful wave. It has a wide dynamic response, not narrow like the other. What happens is the heart speeds up when you inhale and slows down when you exhale. This means that our breath is controlling our heart. This screenshot is actually my second 10-minute session. So for 16 minutes, my breath was not in control of my heart, and therefore my parasympathetic response was low and not in the best state to repair and replenish. But check this out. In my second 10-minute session, I persisted at doing the breathing exercise, and then at the 6-minute mark, my breath started controlling my heartbeat rhythm, and then I was in coherence. Now that I've been practicing, I can get into coherence in about 20 seconds, and I'll be telling you my tips and other tricks in the do part that combine other experts' strategies. But just like medication, you need to do this regularly, otherwise the effect will be insignificant. I have a link for you to watch that goes for about 30 minutes. It's a talk by Richard Gervais, who is a distinguished professor and holds a PhD in clinical psychology. He talks about HRV training. Being an academic, he has a very thorough rationale on the importance of doing this breathing exercise and its effects. You will notice that he says that it doesn't have as much effect on sleep that he wished. But as I pointed out, we have to deal with the 3 driving mechanisms of sleep to get good sleep. But these exercises are a vital element to our sleeping framework. So take the time to watch this YouTube clip so you can understand what's going on with your body and your emotions. As a practitioner, clinician, and researcher, he's very interested in data. My opinion, at our consumer level, we don't need the machine he's using as a clinician. We'll need to be able to interpret that data. The HeartMath Institute Inner Balance app will suffice for helping sleep for its simplicity and practicality. Just lastly, I need to talk about the heart. The heart really tells the story. You have a resting heart rate and then you have a sleeping heart rate. A good sleeping heart rate dips 15 to 30% in good sleepers. This is reliant on more than just HRV training, and you'll be able to reflect on this as you work through other aspects of this course. If your heart is elevated during sleep, specifically higher compared to your normal resting heart rate, it means you are using energy that could be directed to repair and restoration. So anything that elevates our heart rate before bed needs to be seriously dealt with. More on lowering our heart rates in future modules.